Hey, welcome back to Grandpa Casey. I have a serious subject today. You don't want to tune away. Grab your cup of coffee, hit like, share, and subscribe. We're going to be talking about the recent cyber attacks and how you need to protect yourself. Because I'm telling you right now, it is getting serious. How serious is it? Let's get to it right now. I'm talking on July 12th. Over 6 states had power outages and 911 outages where you couldn't get through to 911. And that wasn't just the only cyber attack that occurred. But just imagine how serious this is. You suddenly are on the road and you're calling for help. You can't do it. Someone's breaking into your house. You can't call for 911. You need an ambulance because you're about to give birth. You can't call. What are you going to do? And that's the seriousness of how 911 that outage was. And they sent out phone messages if you had the app installed on your phone. They told you it was down and that you could text them. Well, that's fine. But just how serious was this? Not only was this happening, not only were there many outages, a lot of people didn't talk about power outages, water plants, sewer plants, all kinds of attacks that were occurring all at the same time. It's like as if we're going to have an attack on the infrastructure of this country, and we have to be prepared. And of course, they've confirmed this. Like I said, on July 12th, Pennsylvania Emergency Management, Nevada, South Dakota, Nebraska. Here in Florida, we were down. All over the country. Imagine a major attack occurring and no way to call for help, no way to notify the authorities. That's how serious this was. But that wasn't the only things that were happening. Amazon got attacked. Hospitals got attacked. Water companies got attacked. All kinds of things happened at the same time. For how many of us went in and wanted to develop the smart home? You know what I'm talking about. You put in these lights that you can turn on using your various devices such as Alexa and all of that. You know what I'm saying? You put all these devices in, and now suddenly you can't turn them on and off. You can't turn off your TV. You can't turn on the TV. All of a sudden, someone has broken into your TV and they're talking to you through your TV. That's how serious this is becoming. For right now, SegGigs, they're a major company who sells, light devices and light control devices. Their servers have been down for several days. And this happened a month ago also again, where someone broke into their servers were down, and there is no confirmation. There's no word from these companies about why they're down. They're not even talking about why they're down. Right now, all the auto lights in my house, all the different things like that, the lights have all been programmed to turn on and off, and now they will not turn on, they will not turn off because their servers are down. Everything that is cloud-based is in danger right now. How dangerous is this? Think about this. You have your lighting system in your house suddenly goes down. Now all of a sudden your thermometer in your thermostat in your house suddenly, instead of keeping the temperature at 70, suddenly turns off and turns the heat off in your house, and you freeze and starts freezing. Or it goes to 120 and burns out the system. What about your refrigerator? Auto control. And all of a sudden now your refrigerator turns off and you lose all the food. That's how serious we're talking. And not only that, the amount of break-ins that have happened in passwords. Let's talk about the way you can protect yourself. One of the most important things is to change your passwords regularly. Never use a password that contains your name, your birth date, or anything like that. A lot of people use the same password for everything. I knew somebody that used the same password for every single word, and once they broke in everything. The next thing is, when passwords first came out, a lot of people would say, okay, I have a password. Okay, now you have to add a capital letter. So they would add a capital letter to the very beginning. Oh, you have to add a number. Oh, let's add a 1. You don't know that 80% of all passwords are built like that? And that the cyber attacks know this? And then, you have to use a special character. Everybody put the explanation point. A lot of you are thinking, man, I need to change my password. You're absolutely correct. You need to create a password that does not follow that. Put your capital letter somewhere in the middle. Put your number somewhere in the middle. And don't use the explanation point, because it's the most commonly used character. And now with AI, they can search out information about you. You know, you're on the web, right? And you're on Facebook. So it knows the name of your kids. It knows the names of all your associates. So all it has to do is just take all those names and just vary them until it finds your password. I'm telling seriously. That's how easily they're able to break into your information. You know, another thing you can do is never use banking on your phone. Too many apps have been out there that are going in and getting into your phone, and suddenly all your personal banking information is lost. That's how quickly this can be. Get yourself a good cybersecurity. You know, a lot of people are saying VPNs and everything like that. I'm going to tell you, everything works to a degree, but you need to do it. The other thing is, what would happen tomorrow with all these cyber attacks if the power went out? And the power was out for 5, 6, 10, 12 days, just like in a hurricane. Be prepared. Do you have flashlights in the house? Does your freezer have extra ice put in it in case the power went out for a couple of days? If you have a grill outside, do you have an extra gas grill container that you can barbecue if your power went out, or the gas went out, or utilities went out? You know, there was a movie recently that was created that went out there and talked about all of this happening. The internet went out, and that they gained control of auto driving cars, and we're having them crash and block all the roads so no emergency vehicles go get through. This is now becoming the most serious thing, and you need to be protecting yourself against this. It's very, very serious. On your banking information, use multi-level connection. In other words, every time you log into your bank, have it check, give your phone, is that you logging in? Make it, do that, okay? Because if someone clones something, you have at least a double security that you're going to know that that's happened. The other thing is check your balances on a frequent basis. Check on your credit cards. Don't just pay the bill. Just don't auto pay your credit cards. Go in and check the balance. Go check the receipts and see if someone's got in there and been making purchases. Because usually when someone breaks into a credit card, what they'll do is try doing $1, $2, $3 purchases just to see if the credit card is open. And then all of a sudden, the big credit card purchase occurs. That's another thing that you could do. Don't give your personal information online. I know personally on me, when I put my information out, my birthday is never correct birthday. My information is never correct. I always give the most incorrect information I can use. I misspell my name. I do whatever I can do to protect myself. Have an emergency plan. Again, like I said, if tomorrow everything went down, power, water, do you have bottled water, large containers of water that you could use? Do you have food that's non-perishable that you could survive on for a few days? Because unfortunately, as these cyber attacks occur, as these riots have been occurring across the country, as total chaos has been breaking out in some parts of the United States, you need to be prepared. If tomorrow something happened, what's your backup plan? Do you have emergency a bug out kit? In the military, we used to bug out, and we had a kit and everything prepared that if we had suddenly had to leave the site and we had 10 minutes, we could take the essentials out of there and go. Just like if you had a storm coming, a hurricane, a tornado, you need to be prepared that way. And if you're in your own house, what are you going to do? Some people recommend buying 2 or 3 boxes of pancake mix. Why? Because of a pancake mix, if you've got a grill, gas grill, you can cook and make bread. Suddenly, if supply lines get broken. These are things that I think you need to think about carefully. Do you have an emergency radio? If the internet went down and your phone service went down, do you have an emergency radio that's solar powered that you can turn into the radio and discover what's going on? If you don't know what's going on, you don't know how to respond. You understand what I'm telling you? So having solar backup packs, solar solar radios, emergency kits for water, food that are non-perishable, and iodine tablets. Yes, iodine tablets. If a dirty bomb goes off, you'll need those because that's how you're going to protect yourself against that. I mean, I don't like talking about this in that way, but unfortunately, with the recent cyber attacks and 911 going down and riots and all of these things and looting occurring, we need to be ready. Anyway, this is your Grandpa Casey. Give us a like, give us a share. But this is just a warning because I grew up in the Cold War era. And today, it's more dangerous than it ever was because homegrown terrorists are in the United States right now, and you need to be ready. You need to be ready on a moment's notice, to be able to protect yourself. Anyway, I hope this information I'll give you some links so where you can find some good information on how to protect yourself because tomorrow you need to be ready. God bless you. Check out my other videos, my how-to videos. You can buy us a cup of coffee, you can give us a thank you button to support the channel, or you can become a channel member. Grandpa loves you, love to hear from you in the comments. Have a great day.